I feel that we are getting a lot of good talents, in Singapore. So I feel that with this space, right, we actually can attract a lot of international talents into Singapore.
Just say.
Alright guys, when was the last time you went to the sports hub and what did you do over there?
Wow, I think mine was damn recent. I think mine was last Wednesday. I went there to play captain's ball.
Oh,
Because they have this one place like a field, right, where you can book for free. Yeah, so my brother's friend booked the place, then my brother showed me, then I go there play for 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah. Wow, then how? Got win ah?
Win Some games.
Not publicity.
Sports like that. Got win, got lose.
End of the day, all winners.
Yeah, that's how we enjoy.
How about y'all? When was the last time?
Wow, for me, right, I always wanted to watch Manchester United live. Yeah, so the last time I was there, right, I catch the Manchester United game there. Yeah.
They host a lot of this type of football match,
Yeah. Actually, I went to quite a bit also.
Yeah.
For me, I think I can't remember when was the last, but the more impactful one was I went down to take the chess video for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That was also quite some time.
For what?
right?
Yeah, for
You're
his
doing a
online
marketing
course.
video lah.
Yeah, so like he was like doing some introduction using the chess pieces as analogy lah.
Next time show you all.
Yeah, why you never see the video?
How long was you?
I think like 7 years.
Maybe about that.
Very long, yeah.
Wow.
The last time I was at the sports hub, I was actually at Sukiya, eating at Kallang Wave Mall. That was the last time. I never used the facilities.
Huh? The Kaale Wave Mall is part of the sports hub.
Yeah. So there are 5 things that make up the sports hub lah. The 5 things are the National Stadium, the Indoor Stadium, the OCBC Aquatic Centre, the Multipurpose Indoor OCBC Arena, and Kallang Wave Mall.
Wow. I didn't know. I thought it's just like the stadium only.
A lot of people don't know lah. And you know what's another thing most people don't know? They don't know that this entire sports hub is actually owned by a private company. And the way it works, right, with the government is there's this thing called the public-private partnership. Basically, if let's say the government wants to engage an agency that's in the private sector, they use a partnership arrangement like this lah. So the government will finance the project and the company will just handle everything.
So the government pay them some every year to run the facilities and the like certain projects and whatnot.
Correct. And the reason why this arrangement is good, right, is because there isn't a monopoly on good ideas and creativity within the government. Sometimes people who are on the ground or, people in the private sector, they might be creative, they might be innovative.
You have more expertise in whatever.
Correct. So you want to tap into these resources, tap into this expertise.
And also government, their main primary role is really so busy and so many stuff.
Yeah.
It's
So
better to
outsource to
outsource
them
lah.
lah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is the government is going to take over ownership. So at the end of this year, they will be taking over ownership from this private entity. So the private entity is called Sports Hub Private Limited lah. It's made up of 3 partners. They've been managing the Sports Hub since 2010. So as you all can imagine lah, when there are different partners, different people have different opinions. Sometimes they don't match in their interests.
Other people lah, we all interest aligned one.
For that, right, especially for private sector, because profits are involved.
Exactly. So that is one of the reasons for the clash. Because if let's say now 3 people are coming together and one person is making more money than the other, some of them might feel, hey, I also part of this, why I earn less? But they do different things lah. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason why the government decided maybe it's time to take over is they realize there's a difference in interests. The private entity, their interest, like what KB has mentioned, is profit. They want to make the big bucks. So the projects that make a lot of money, they take up, otherwise they don't. But for the government, they are more focused on let's develop the scene, let's develop the sporting arena, let's develop the future of Singapore sports.
I think to build on your point also, right, I think that Singapore, right, is actually going to a different level in sports. I feel that we are getting a lot of good talents, in Singapore. So I feel that with this space, right, we actually can attract a lot of international talents into Singapore. And then they also can represent Singapore, and we have good facilities for our people to play.
Oh, that's actually something I didn't consider.
Because for now, right, Singapore has been sending athletes to overseas and play and represent us and whatnot. Very less likely the other way around.
I think what she's saying, right, what if we can, because of the infrastructure we have laid, attract people from overseas to come to Singapore, represent Singapore, and thrive under the
In
conditions
our
that we
wing,
have
yeah.
created.
Right.
Mm.
And what?
And that is basically, if let's say, you know, there is a department that governs sports in Singapore, right? Probably it's the MCCY lah. That is probably their biggest goal. How can we get the best talents to represent us so that for any events, we are going to win the neighboring countries and maybe even the rest of the world.
That's the plan.
So a few days ago, right, I also saw one post from Edwin Tong's Facebook. So he brought up the idea that he wants like people to come together lah, to make Singaporeans have a sense of belonging. And another thing, right, that he wants, right, is he wants the competitors to come to Singapore and have that sense of like fear, you know, because you know sometimes, right, when you go to the home, like you go back to the home, right, they have this
home ground advantage.
Yes, and you know that the locals are supporting, have their back for the locals competitions.
I'll tell you something interesting that I read some time back regarding this. In the US, right, there was this one uni. They have a sports team. I believe it's American football. So what they did is you have your home locker and your away team locker, right? So when different varsities and unis come, they can use their visitors locker lah. What they did was the home team locker, they put all the medals, they put all the posters, everything. So you feel like wow, full of energy. The visitors locker, right? They paint it pink.
Basket.
They paint it pink because psychology has proven that this particular shade of pink will make people feel calm. So this is a psychology play they did. They wanted the away team to come and feel calm. So that when they go out to the pitch, they cannot perform with the same rigor.
Oh, that's a smart dirty.
You know, for like F1, right, like they have Ferrari, they have Merc, all this, right. When Ferrari goes back to their home, right, which is Italy, right, the vibe is totally different. And you know, like you know that the people are supporting them. You know, everything is just like give them everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everything that they can just to support their fellow Ferrari mates to succeed.
Never is an anthem sung with such gusto and passion as the Italian national anthem when Ferrari win at Monza.
So those are some of the reasons the government considered lah, you know, in their bid to take over ownership. Some of the other reasons include the private company, right, they were charging a lot for usage because they're profit driven, right? So like for example, Singapore Athletics, they wanted to rent the National Stadium for 4 days. They were quoted $620,000. And Singapore Athletics is not a profit-based organisation, so they actually cannot really afford that kind lah.
Wow, 620,000 for 4 days.
Yep.
Oh, that's mad eh.
That's double their entire budget for the event.
I
So
guess
that's another
where
reason.
the point of like, you know, the different goals in the private sector and public sector comes in.
Yes. Another reason is also because the quality standard not really very good. So they've been fined before lah. SHPL they've been fined before. But the government is saying that it is not about what happened in the past lah. Because all these that have happened, all resolved. The reason why they are taking over is because they see the environment for the future of sports in Singapore is totally different. So what they are envisioning, right, is like what you painted. They want an entire ecosystem to help our athletes thrive.
This is all a part of my master plan.
And for now, I think that the space lah, get around Kallang Wave, right? Actually, we got quite a bit of space to play with, right?
Yes. And the good thing about that is they will use up this space. They already have the plans to use up this space. So there's this area called the Kallang Alive Precinct. Around that area, they are developing the entire area. More facilities will come up. So for like, you know, soccer, for tennis, swimming, all these kind of things. The main idea is they want people like us, regular Singaporeans, non-athletes, to go down and use the sports facilities.
I see.
And one more thing, right, like, you know, Singapore sports, right, you see the different CCAs in the school, right, they're actually expanding the CCA to shooting, all this, right, and I mean, like, if there's more sports that is upcoming, right, and let's say the Kallang Precinct, right, have able to cater such sports, right, I believe that more Singaporeans will come, and then, yeah, it will just lead to whatever you say, lor.
Okay, so you say more Singaporeans will come, right? In order for Singaporeans to come, you need to probably let them know you can use the space and stuff. Some initiatives that launch lah. What is one initiative that can be launched that will attract you to go down there?
Okay, I think I can answer the question because I actually frequent sports hub ever since I'm in secondary school. Okay, so I feel right, because sports comprise a lot of different category. It comprises of like badminton, tennis and all right. But they often forget about esports in a sense. I mean, okay, it is not physical sports, but it is up and coming. And whatnot. And the prize pool is huge lah, I mean, for the top games and whatnot.
But their focus is not on money.
That's true. But it's for holding people up. Because currently right, there is no place in Singapore where they have an outlet or venue to go to like to search for opportunities for esports in a sense. And also for sports that are more niche, like fencing. Because currently right, there is no such like public venues that you can easily book for fencing.
And by the narrowest of margins, Singapore emerged victorious.
KP, just like you say you frequent there, right? What do you do there?
Okay, so they got this subway. Back when I was secondary school, they were selling this $5 meal. Oh, solid, bro.
Parents, I go all the way to.
Serious. Got a sub, got cookie, got drink. Bro, of course I'll be there.
Okay, so Sports SG, if you want to bring in more people,
open more subway.
Subway, I love you!
Yeah, okay, for me, right, I believe that you guys have Active SG, right? Yeah, and you know, we always try to book like badminton court, soccer field,
It's
right?
always fully booked.
Yes. So if let's say we have the Active SG and we can book the sports hub, right? I think so more Singaporeans will go there. Yeah, because it is like fully booked every week, right? Means a lot of people want to use. Yeah, if they put sports hub as a place that we can book, right? I believe we will use it.
Yeah.
I think to build on that, right, the initiative could be like, because, you know, Active SG, they give us like $100 credit, right? So for us, like, you know, we want to use market right now. Like for me, I go gym, I go swimming, right? To be honest, I feel like quite comfortable to be there, you know. So if let's say, right, you know, the stadium wants to have any initiative, they could do something like that. Give us a certain amount of credit so that, you know, make us comfortable, make us have the habit of going there. Then subsequently, we will, you know, pay frequent visit to there already.
Yes, that's a good idea because that's how Grab grows. Also. Last year they give so many promo.
Voucher
also
after
expensive. Please don't do that. Okay, that's a good idea.
Another way, right, I believe that how Singapore can attract people there, right, is, you know, our Singapore Premier League, right? Majority of the game, right, those big games, right, they held at Jalan Besar Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go there because like, sometimes I go there or last time I'll go there. If let's say they can held this kind of big games in the sports hub, right? Well, I believe it will bring back Kallang Raw. Like, we will have this sense of
the
identity.
city will be stronger at the National Stadium.
I miss that though, the feeling.
Alright guys, we've reached the end of today's episode and I want to know what you guys think. What is one initiative the government can come up with that will make you want to go to the sports hub even more? Let us know in the comments and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye!